Puyo Puyo Tetris, an upcoming title for the Nintendo Switch and PlayStation 4 in the West, is a game that matches two puzzle properties together for some puzzle gaming frenzy. I'm sure all of you watching this video are well aware of what Tetris is, but what about the other side of that coin, Puyo Puyo? Maybe half of you may recognize these blobs, or have seen them under a different name, or haven't heard of them at all. Well, in this video, we'll give you a crash course on Puyo Puyo and its esteemed history in the puzzle genre. It may not be popular in the West, but it has left its mark in the Japanese gaming community. This is Pam Bam Richards from the Puyo Nexus presenting to you a brief overview of the Puyo Puyo franchise. Puyo Puyo is the brainchild of one Masamitsu Mu Nitani from Compile. He wanted to create a puzzle game that would meet the standards of other games in the genre at the time, such as Dr. Mario and Tetris, but with a bit of a competitive edge to it, and thus Puyo Puyo was born. It was first released in 1991 on the MSX2 and Famicom, and was later brought to the arcades in 1992, where it challenged gamers to complete its rough 13-stage campaign. The rules to Puyo Puyo are simple. You have 4 to 5 colored blobs known as Puyo. They come in sets of 2 on the field and you can rotate them left or right before they land. Connect 4 or more Puyo of the same color and they'll disappear, scoring you points. Sounds simple, right? In order to score more points, stack your Puyo in a certain way where once one set of Puyo clears, another set of Puyo clears immediately after. These are known as chains and they are essential for getting a high score. When head-to-head with another player, your goal is to fill up your opponent's field. You do this by clearing chains, which sends these colorless solid Puyo to your opponent's field known as garbage Puyo. Garbage Puyo cannot connect with regular Puyo, and can only be removed when a set of Puyo is cleared right beside them. This is where Puyo Puyo excels as a competitive puzzle game. It's a race to fill your opponent's field while also micromanaging your own. This formula proved real popular back in the day, but there was a bit of a ceiling that existed for high-level players. Anyone can easily beat an opponent with a 4 to 5 chain, so Compile acknowledged this, and in their next game Puyo Puyo Su, introduced a mechanic that would break this ceiling, known as neutralizing. If garbage Puyos are about to be sent to your board, you can initiate your current chain to soften, or even counter that garbage if your chain is stronger. This new formula has become the series staple ever since, as it encouraged players to not only create long chains, but to react accordingly to how their opponent plays. Compile realized that they struck gold here, and even went as far as to host their own tournaments as early as 1997. The tournament shown here was hosted in front of a live crowd of fans, all engaged in the incredible amount of skill shown by the finalists.
ここで連鎖が短くなっちゃったのは残念でした。ファイヤー、アイストーン、ダイヤキュード、ブレインダウン、シュガール、バレー、バレー、さあ、イワプヨ。
This scene allowed Puyo Puyo to flourish in Japan throughout its many sequels since the second game, each entry making minor changes to the formula, but still keeping its core mode established in Puyo Puyo Su, as it always attracts Puyo Puyo enthusiasts. Currently, the Puyo Puyo scene in Japan is still strong, as there are many known faces in the community that are considered Puyo Puyo professionals. Sega in Japan still holds their own official tournaments in the Collaboration Cup and with Red Bull 5G. It's a franchise that continues to celebrate its anniversaries to this day. In the West, Puyo Puyo saw its official debut through Dr. Robotnik's Mean Bean Machine on the Sega Genesis and Kirby's Avalanche on the Super Nintendo. Both are reskinned versions of the original arcade game. You might have even seen Puyo Puyo in the form of Timon and Pumbaa's Bug Drop in one of Disney's CD-ROMs. After the 90s, the West witnessed Puyo Puyo on the Game Boy Advance, rebranded as Puyo Pop in 2002, and received Puyo Pop Fever in 2004. However, while Japan continued to get new Puyo Puyo games, the West hasn't received a fresh localization for at least 10 years. Until now. With Puyo Puyo Tetris coming out on April 2017 in the West, it will mark the first time that the series received a fresh localization since 2004. To learn more about Puyo Puyo, its characters, history, and competitive scene that wasn't covered in this video, visit our website at www.puyonexus.com, where we also hold our own tournaments keeping the competitive nature of Puyo Puyo alive outside of Japan. Be sure to also follow Sega's official Puyo Puyo accounts on social media, Facebook at Puyo Puyo Game, or Twitter at Puyo Official. We hope that this video was enough to give you an idea about this series, and until then, get ready for Puyo Puyo Tetris time!